Recently, a lot of people close to me have been complaining about their health. The top 5 winning complaints are acne and skin conditions, brain fog, like forgetting stuff, on and off gut problems like food intolerances and not being able to digest food well. Me, my mom, and a lot of people are complaining about their joints and nerves. And 5, I know a lot of people who also just had stroke. So I'm not sure if it's the vaccine shots or COVID itself, but definitely a lot of people have been experiencing mysterious conditions lately, and everyone doesn't know how to exactly solve these conditions, including me. And apart from drinking pills or getting unending expensive tests, I really don't know how to resolve them. Until recently, I found a medicinal system that resonated a lot with me, and it focuses on preventive lifestyle and not just the cure. So if you know anyone who are in the same situation, or if you're interested in boosting your immune system, this information that I'm going to share with you might just save someone's life. So I've been selling health supplements for a few years now, and over the years our research team has gone through hundreds of books to figure out what is the root cause of all these illnesses. I know it sounds very generic, but for a time being I thought vitamin C was the most important vitamin. When someone catches a cold, I could tell them to overdose on vitamin C. It works, yes, but not all the time. As we dug deeper and understood how the body works, it seemed more and more that the majority of the diseases boils down to your gut health. It sounded good in theory, but after drinking some probiotics, trying to improve stomach acid, strengthening the gut lining, and even doing colon cleanse to clear out the poop, nothing worked significantly. Also, I found colon cleanse to be very intrusive. It just feels very unnatural. So back to the drawing board again. We thought, what if we look into an older medicinal system? Maybe we'll get closer to the truth. So we started looking into the eastern side of the world and found acupuncture. So acupuncture dates back to around 3,000 years ago compared to Western medicine, which started like 200 years ago and is still undergoing radical changes. Like, we haven't heard of keto diet or gluten-free diet until recently, right? So we were excited to try acupuncture, and as soon as we got there, we got to talk to the acupuncturist. We found out about the limitations of what it can and cannot do, and most of the things it can help you with is pain management. I still feel like there's something missing because it can relieve you of the pain, but I'm pretty sure if you're doing the same thing again when you get back home, you'll find yourself in the same situation. And then we found an even older system that dates back to 5,000 years called Ayurveda. And get this, the original text is written in Sanskrit, a dead language. And it turns out, if you do a quick search, Ayurveda is the oldest surviving medicinal system that's still being practiced today in Indian homes. And Ayurveda doctors need to learn Sanskrit to learn from the source materials. Alright, so we were excited to try out Ayurveda. The way they treat people is through a 14-day treatment plan called Panchakarma. The most authentic one is in India, obviously, but we wanted to try it out first before flying somewhere else. Luckily, there's one in the Philippines. A quick Google search would lead you to Shanti Ayurveda in Quezon City. So we arrive at this house in Xavierville first to do a consultation with an Ayurvedic doctor. The first thing we do is to fill out a form.
Any one of them. Okay, according to your body structure, according to your body weight, what you feel, you can just there are 1 3 of.
As you can see, it's not an ordinary form. It's a special form where they figure out your body's constitution called dosha. Dosha, what is dosha? If you're familiar with the traditional Chinese medicine, the Chinese believes that everything, including the organs of the body, is composed of the 5 elements. Similarly, in Ayurveda, the Indians believe that you're sick because of your imbalanced doshas. But instead of the 5 elements, there are 3 doshas: Vata, Kapha, and Pitta. Try to think of someone you know per dosha as you go through each one. First is Vata. Vata is air and ether. A Vata person is usually slim and energetic and gets easily distracted. Second is Kapha. Kapha is earth and water. Kapha person usually moves slow, strong, and is thick-boned. Third is Pitta. Pitta is fire and water. Similar to fire, a Pitta person is usually motivated, goal-oriented, and is usually a natural-born leader. And like fire, it's impatient and prone to conflict. Most people I know are Pitta, including me. Ayurveda is based on these doshas. Everything like the weather, the time of day, the food we eat, illnesses, they all represent a dosha as well. And based on this result, the doctor will recommend lifestyle changes and treatment plans so you can balance out your doshas. When I filled out the form, I was heavy on the side of Pitta and Vata, and I only have a bit of Kapha. This explains why I have an active mind and have trouble sleeping at times. The doctor patiently explained to me the differences and what I needed to do to heal whatever health conditions I presented him.
We have 5 kinds of air, we have 5 kinds of fire, we have 5 kinds of water in our body. According to Ayurveda, all the function, physical and psychological functions is controlled by air, fire and water. So we have air in our body, which is the air we breathe in, the air we pass out, farting, belching, burping, everything, and all the functions. According to Ayurveda, all the neurological functions, brain functions, talking, blinking of eyes, exchange of gases, circulation, bowel movement, maturation, urination, physical function, all the movements controlled by air. Fire responsible for the digestion, metabolism, hormones, enzymes, liver function, skin complexion. Fire. Water responsible for the immunity, rejuvenation, nourishment, sexual potency, reproductive prowess.
I don't have major conditions unlike some of my other family members, so I only wanted to resolve my wrist pain, my phlegm that's been there for years, my constipation, anxiety, and lack of focus. I also added fat burn since they offered. The fat burning treatment is more on detoxification. So the treatment plan for me was doing 14 continuous days of detoxification, purgation, and rejuvenation called Panchakarma. After that, depending on my condition, in the next 3 months, the doctor will prescribe some Indian medicine that will help me get back in shape, should I need it. Ayurveda doesn't believe in maintenance medicine because that just hurts your kidney. Ayurveda believes that with the proper food and lifestyle, you'll be able to get the nutrients you need to achieve 0 disease, 0 illnesses. So apart from the treatment, I also got tons of lifestyle advice on my habits that I need to improve on, which is for another video. Some of those habits was to always drink warm water, always eat at the same time of the day, and to eat when the sun is up because that's when your digestive juices are the strongest. This was just my first day and I was able to learn a lot from talking to the doctor. Apparently, Indians do Panchakarma every year for maintenance. And it makes a lot of sense because if you think about it, if we were to create an analogy, our body is like a car. If we bring our cars to the service center for maintenance every 5 to 10,000 kilometers to prevent it from breaking down, isn't our body more important? Why don't we have something like that? And no, doing tests in a diagnostic center is not considered maintenance. That's just a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper, right? So I signed up, came back the next morning to start day 1. I entered into this room. First thing they did was I got some medicinal oil poured on my head. I got oil dripped in each of my nostrils. This treatment is called Nasya, and some of their patients come into the treatment center just to do this.
Maanghang. Wow. Sarap naman ang maanghang.
Ibang klaseng anghang.
Ano sinusunod?
Hindi naman. Ibang klaseng anghang to eh. Parang chili.
Pero na ano naman, kaya naman.
Oo, kaya naman. Hindi, nasa stress ako sa oil. A few minutes into it, my ears started to itch, my nose has started to clog with phlegm, but I cannot blow my nose, that's the rule. I can only transfer it from my nose to my throat and spit it out. And it was supposed to sit there for the whole session. It was very uncomfortable, but I feel like it's going to get rid of my phlegm. I also had medicinal powder rubbed all over my body, which was to burn my fat. After that was the most relaxing thing ever. Warm buttermilk was being poured constantly on my forehead for about 40 minutes. And I completely dozed off. The treatment lasted for about 1.5 hours, and the type of treatment changes every few days as I progress. It's lunchtime. Sona, the founder of the clinic, cooks food for his patients when requested. During detoxification, we cannot eat any meat for easier digestion because during this time, our body is detoxifying, so it's eating up a lot of power. So we want to help our body digest faster by not eating meat. And because of that, we found it more convenient to order our lunch and dinner there. As we're having lunch, we learn more about Ayurveda from Sona.
Good cook.
Good food, good food, good company. Very good, you know. Thank you so much.
Five fingers, have to dip.
That we food with the dipping, you know, like this, you know. Indian way of eating, that's Ayurveda. You dip it here, then you dip.
He's 68 years old, doesn't drink any supplements, and is still very sharp.
This is not a treatment center. This is also a learning center. You learn, you know. You learn how to prevent sickness. So preventive healthcare with food, lifestyle, daily regimen, home remedies, and you can see the fresh cooked food. Objective Ayurveda is to maintain health of a healthy person. The number one. Second, to cure sickness of disease. Treatment and medicines without good daily regimen, good lifestyle, it will not work.
We learned that Ayurveda is the only medicinal system that's preventive. It's 80% prevention and 20% cure. If you think about it, you only go to the hospital when you're sick. Not even just slightly sick, you have to be super sick. Even with the traditional Chinese medicine, it's focused on treating you when you're already sick. Each of the ingredients in the food, especially the spices, has its own medicinal property and helps with your digestion.
Powder spices for curry, cumin powder, okay, then coriander powder and a touch of chili powder. These are the basic. But don't have to put some water, otherwise spices will burn. The spices will burn. What happens in the process? Water extracting nutrients from the turmeric, cumin, coriander, chili powder, garlic, onion, ginger, and infusing in the oil or ghee.
Each dish is already a balanced meal and is very nutritious. So although Ayurveda doesn't believe in taking maintenance pills like the Westerns do, you are actually taking medicine through your food. And unlike with the Western doctors where you have to put a lot of effort to schedule a follow-up consultation, the doctor was there to oversee my treatment every single day. He asks me how I'm doing and he changes the treatment plan as needed. I was not only happy with the new knowledge that I acquired, I was also pleasantly surprised with how much care they give to each of their patients. And because of this, during the course of my treatment, I started to see how this can actually help some of my family members that are experiencing worse health conditions, and I brought them to the center as well. After detoxification, I had to stay at home for my purgation day. The idea is, after all the detox, the toxins have piled up in my gut, and now I have to release them. Today is my purgation day. I've been doing detoxification for 10 days. I'm going to drink some oil. I will have a lot of bowel movement. I'll try to remove everything that has been detoxified. For today, I'll only be eating porridge with nothing on it, like just salt, for the whole day while I do my purgation. I went to the bathroom thrice. My poop was solid at first and then it became like diarrhea later on. and I think I also saw some bile there. After purgation, my last 4 days was for rejuvenation. Now that the toxins are out, it's time to renew the body. So for my last few treatments, the whole body was lathered generously with rice and milk. I was only prescribed some ointment for my rashes and a supplement to increase my metabolism. And the doctor said it takes about 2 to 3 months to be able to see the full results of Panchakarma. I don't have any major conditions that I needed to be treated of, but during my sessions, I was able to get rid of all the phlegm that's been stuck in my throat. Once I got rid of it, my nose was suddenly super clear and I was able to breathe deeply. There were also times when I became emotional and cried for no reason. I think it was just detox on an emotional level. And I also noticed that my arms and tummy were smaller. Similar with the other family members that we brought in, they lost around 3 to 4 kilos. The doctor said it was because of the toxins that they were able to release. Number 4, my bowel movement has also improved. I also was able to sleep deeper and better. But more than these, I feel like I know now how to eat healthier and incorporate healthier habits according to my dosha. So that's it, guys. I feel like this experiencing has been life-changing, belief-changing, transformational. And if you're curious to know if your health conditions can be addressed, it doesn't hurt to get a consultation with the Ayurveda doctor. If you have more questions about Panchakarma or Ayurveda in general, just comment down below and I'll try my best to answer them. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more videos on health, wealth, and happiness.